Before continuing his marriage, this man decides to show something to his wife. He introduces his wheelchair-bound sister, and the bride is surprised to see this, also despising his sister, appearing to feel disgusted. The groom explains that his sister was in an accident at birth, and her father left her in his care when he left the country for work. The woman is angry that he didn't say anything earlier, but he says he didn't because they were just getting started. Then the bride says she doesn't care, as long as his sister doesn't move in with them. But the groom questions how she won't live with them. That bride takes a deep breath and says that's fine, that they can get a nurse for her. But he says that his sister already has a nurse, but he needs to be by her side anyway. And the bride tells him that he needs to understand that he is marrying her, and that his sister will no longer be important, and asks if he will trade his future children for his own sister. She tells him to stop and think, that if they want to travel or move, his sister will only be a burden in both their lives and will get in the way. Angry, the groom doesn't believe what she is saying. But his wife says she doesn't care, and suggests that they can find a place to take care of her, and that honestly, with the money his family has, they don't even have to worry. He gets very angry with his fiancée, who can only think of his father's money. She takes a deep breath before answering that money is not more important, but that it matters anyway. Then she says that his sister is just a silly problem and they can solve it later. The man can't believe what his fiancée is saying. Then the bride asks him to stop the drama, because they are getting married, that everything is ready and the guests are waiting, and for her, his sister can be a rock, that she will not care. She also asks him to tell her if he no longer wants to get married, he should just let her know, that then she will talk to his father, telling him that he did not want to get married. The groom asks her not to call his father, because he can't find out that he doesn't want to get married. The woman laughs spitefully, saying that the fear he has of his father, he should have of her too, because she is the one he is going to marry, and she will be the one to take care of business when his father is no longer present. Then she asks him not to push her, unless he wants to end up in a wheelchair just like his own sister, then he'd better marry her. Then she orders the groom to get his sister out of there, because she is going to receive the guests, the important people, and the real men. The waitress, who is also his mistress, approaches him greeting him, and he questions why she is there dressed as a waitress. Then he explains that she knows what his father said, that he was very specific when he told him to leave the gardener's daughter. But the woman says that she will always be close to him, because she loves him, and his father doesn't understand that, then smiles as she says that she didn't know he had a sister, and bends down to talk to her. She introduces herself to his sister, and tells her that she doesn't need to worry, because the two of them will always take care of her. The groom tells her that she must go, but she gets up and asks him if he really wants her to go. He answers that he doesn't want her to go, so he tells her that he wants to see her when he is at the altar, because he wants to imagine that she is the one he is marrying. The waitress then says that it's decided, that they can threaten her, but she won't leave him. He tells her that she is in danger by making this decision, that it is not worth it, but she replies that it is very much worth it. At this point, the bride approaches him and is ironic that this is a romantic scene, stating that later he will want to know if she still believes it is worth it. The groom yells at her to leave her alone, then the bride laughs and says that she will leave her so alone that she will never wake up again, and the waitress replies that she is not afraid. The bride gets even more nervous hearing that and laughs evilly, saying that her fiancé's father and her are part of the biggest barracks in the country. She adds that the waitress is being a problem. The man says that if she does anything to her, there will be no wedding, and knowing this, the bride says that she has another idea, that she will lock her in the room with his sister, so he must do whatever she tells him to do, since he is behaving very badly. The waitress says that she can do whatever she wants, but she will always go after her beloved. The bride says that this is very romantic, but wants to see her do it with broken legs. Then suddenly, 3 men approach where the bride, groom, and the waitress are, while the bride is still threatening the woman. But one of them tells her to leave the woman alone, and everyone is surprised to see the groom's father there. He is very happy to see his son, for he has missed him so much, and when the bride tries to say something, the father tells her to shut up. He is very angry with her, because he found out that she wanted to steal his business and mistreat his son. She tries to apologize, but suddenly her wheelchair-bound sister gets up and runs to hug her father. The bride is at a loss, and the father tells her that his son told her what she wanted to do, so he was there to see for himself, and even to listen. He then reveals that his daughter was only pretending to gather evidence for her father. The bride is surprised to find that she has been discovered, and the father gets angrier at her for wanting to take over his business. She tries to argue that she would never do that she wouldn't even be able to. But the father doesn't believe anything she says, because he knows that she wanted to take his life, to take his business, his son, and everything that is his. Desperate, she starts to justify herself as best she can, saying that she would never do anything to him, that he is her inspiration. But her father interrupts her and tells her to shut up. Then he tells the waitress to come closer, and she obeys. Soon she begins to explain that she loves his son. Then the man says he knows that he threatened her and her family, and yet she continued to stand by her son. So, the son asks his father not to hurt her, but the father has no intention of hurting her, as he gives his blessing for them to get married. The news takes the bride by surprise, but before she can question anything, the father orders his security guard to get her out of there, also ordering them to bring a wedding dress for the waitress. Disbelieving, the son asks if he is serious, and the father asks if he wants to marry her. He answers yes, but he doesn't know if she would like to marry him. The security guards take the wheelchair out of there and hand him a ring so that he can propose to his beloved, also taking the tray from her hands. Then the man kneels in front of the woman, finally asking her to marry him, and she does not hesitate to accept the proposal. And the two are very happy to know that they are doing this under the blessing of his family.